think that might have been the longest 15 seconds of my life. Hi guys, welcome to this Profit Protector Pro webinar. I'm Holly and this is my co-presenter Kayleigh. Thank you so much for joining us today. Let me click on the chat. Let us know where you're all from. Where are you joining us from today?
Hi Karen. First in the chat, I like it.
Hey Beck.
How many have we got? 28 with us.
Yeah, 28 so far. So we'll just let some more people join. But let us know where you're from, guys. Let us know in the chat. Hi, Alan. Hi, John from Edinburgh. Michelle from Seattle. Elaine from Virginia. Wow, we've got lots of US. It's moving so fast.
Oh, it really is.
Got Matt from Edinburgh. Jermaine from London. Hi, RJ. Stuart from Toronto. Karen's in Essex. We know Karen.
Tim from windswept South Coast. Yeah, I hear that it's going to get worse as well down there tonight.
The wind is so bad, isn't it? There's literally
I think it was even worse. It's like the south and the southwest, isn't it?
Is it? There are branches literally all over our garden. like half a tree. Will this be recorded so we can see it again? Yes, it absolutely will, providing that technology does everything that it's supposed to do. We'll upload it to the YouTube video. We'll upload it to our YouTube, and we'll also post a video on our Facebook group.
So we've got Republic of Moldova, Bratislava. I love seeing all the different places.
I know, it's crazy. It's great to have you with us, guys.
Yes.
So today we're going to take you through a few different features that we've got in Profit Protector Pro. Then we're going to let you ask questions, anything that you want to know about the feature or anything else to do with Profit Protector Pro. But yeah, shall we get into it? Shall we get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, awesome. What did we say? Did we say we was going to do Chrome extension first?
Yeah, let's do that one. Yeah. It's a bit of an introduction one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? Okay, so we're going to start with Chrome extension. So we're going to start the video and then we'll be back with you guys once it's finished.
See you in a minute. In this video, I want to talk to you about the Profit Protector Pro Chrome extension, which makes on-page repricing super easy. Basically means you can start your repricing at the point of purchase. It's already in your inventory in Profit Protector Pro, ready to go as soon as the product hits down. So, first of all, you need to download the Profit Protector Pro Chrome extension from the Chrome store, super easy. And then it will just ask you to input some details to set it up. And they're really simple. It's just the email that is linked to your Profit Protector Pro account, the email address, and then your secret key, which you can find in your account settings in your Profit Protector Pro account. So you've input those in and then it will load and look like this. So I'm on an Amazon product page. I've been analysing a deal with Bible Pro, and I've come to the conclusion that I want to buy this product. So all you need to do is input your buy price into here. You'll see the ASIN has already populated. Input your buy price. So I'm just going to input that there. Let's say it's £20 or $20. Now you can input your break even, your minimum and maximum prices, and select your strategy. You can do that kind of manually. You have access to all of the strategies that you have access to within Profit Protector Pro, even the custom strategies that you might have created. So you can choose your strategy and then you can literally type in your break even and your minimum and maximum. You can also do this by using the automate button. So if you have set up your min and max within your Profit Protector Pro account, then it will use that to automate it. Now, if you haven't set those up, you just need to click on the little cog here. It will open your min and max automation pages. And you can see here, you can input basically your minimum and your maximum prices. Now, it's worth noting, obviously, you can just see the UK marketplace here. This is completely linked to which marketplaces you have turned on and which ones you don't within your Profit Protector Pro account. You can do that within your account settings as well. So I only have the UK marketplace turned on, which is why that's the only one that shows here. And it's also why it's the only one that's in your min and max automation settings. But if I had more marketplaces turned on, you will be able to see those as well. So I'm going to automate it. So all you need to do is click the automate break even and min max button, and you'll see that it says calculating here. So it's using your minimum and your maximum, the figures that you've put into your automations here, the kind of criteria to work out your minimum maximum prices, and it's also working out your break even price. So once it's calculated those, they will then appear. So you'll see now I've got values in each of those boxes and it's green, so the auto calculation has been successful. And then there's one more step. All you need to do is just click save in PPP. You'll see it says setting up your ASIN, then it says save complete. This ASIN is now ready to start repricing in your Profit Protector Pro account. So let's go to my inventory, and I'm just going to refresh the page, and you'll see straight away that that product is this one here that I was looking at, and it's already in my inventory. It's brought across the break even and the minimum and the maximum, and it's also brought across the ASIN and my buy price. Strategy is set to default, which is fine. So you can change your default strategy in your settings as well. Of course, you can also change it from here as well once it's in your inventory. So I have basically brought it from here, and now it's in my inventory and it's ready to start repricing as soon as that stock hits down. So that is the Profit Protector Pro Chrome extension that you can download from the Chrome store. Back to me and Holly. We're back.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people don't actually know about the Chrome extension. And the fact that you can actually set your repricing prior to the stock even landing in Amazon. So it's really, really helpful. You don't have to be on the lookout. You can just set it and forget it. So that's a super helpful feature. Hi, Paul. I don't think there are any questions regarding this. Do all of you use the Chrome extension? Did you already know about it?
I guess it'd be interesting to see what people use.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like I say, I think a lot of people don't actually even know about it. So they think that they've got to wait for the stocks to actually get to Amazon before they can set them in a max and the strategy that they want to use and things like that. So we've got a couple of no's. Yes, I use it with BuyBot Pro. Yeah, that's always great. There's the little section in BuyBot Pro. If you use BuyBot Pro, there's a widget in there, so you don't have to have the Chrome extension for PPP and BuyBot Pro. You can just have it already on there, which is really useful. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that don't use that. So it's probably a good idea for you to download it and just try it out and see if you prefer that way of setting your mins and maxes and your strategy and things like that. It makes it so much easier for you because, oh wow, there's a poll. Did you know about the PPP Chrome extension? So we've got 70. Oh no, it's changing so much. Can you see that? It's changing if you do it. So 64% of people say no and 35% say yes. So that little video was very helpful because now lots of people know about it. Yeah, so just head over to the Chrome store and you can download the PPP Chrome extension. Joshua said, I have it, but I don't use it as much as I should. Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to get into because when you are sourcing your products, you can just kind of streamline the whole process. You can add it to Profit Protector Pro straight away and then you just don't have to think about it again.
It's already done, ready to go.
Absolutely. What initial price does PPP set for a new product in Amazon that I've entered in the Chrome extension? Okay, so I think it will probably depend on the strategy that you've chosen. I've actually never been asked that question before. That's a very good question. I think it'll probably depend on the strategy that you've chosen. If you have, for example, chosen what's my favorite one? How have I forgotten it?
Super Aggressive Dominator.
Yeah, Super Aggressive Dominator. I think if you've chosen Super Aggressive Dominator, it's probably, well, to be fair, it's going to look at what the buy box price is at and everything that it's done around there. But there are certain times where it might go in at your max or it might go in at your min. I guess it does depend entirely on that particular ASIN. I don't think there's like a hard and fast rule for exactly what it what it sets initially, it's going to take into account all the different data points and figure it out from there. Use the Chrome extension every day. That's great.
So scrolling up and down the page.
Yeah, that's true. But also something that you can do now as well is you can change the position of the Profit Protector Pro widget on BuyBot Pro. So if you want to bring it further up the page so there's not as much scrolling, then you can do that now as well. Does it have to be set for each individual product, or can you set a generic percentage min and max? So you do need a min and max on every product for Profit Protector Pro to actually reprice the product. However, you can go into your min and max settings and you can click apply this to all ASINs.
Which you'll see very soon.
Yes, well, actually, yeah. Maybe we should play that video now so that like
you don't have to do each one individually if you don't want to.
Yeah. Okay, shall we go ahead and start that one?
Yes, it makes sense. Oh, just a quick question. This deep dive will be uploaded, and yes, RJ, it will be. Don't worry, as long as technology cooperates.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as it does its job. Is PPP included with the monthly BBP fee, or is it a different product with its own fee? Yeah, so it's a totally different product. Profit Protector Pro is a repricer for your products on Amazon, and BuyBot Pro is something that you would use prior to making your purchase of that product to do the analysis and make sure that it's profitable for you. Okay, so shall we do the next one?
This will help John's question.
It will, absolutely. See you in a sec.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about your min and max automation, how to set that up and kind of what it is. So you may have seen buttons saying automate, break even and min and max. So you might have been looking at the Chrome extension here and you'll see there's a button that says automate, break even and min max. Or you might be in your inventory looking at your stock and you'll see that there's another button here. So this basically means that Profit Protector Pro will calculate what your minimum and maximum prices should be and also the break-even price. But obviously Profit Protector Pro needs to know what to base that on. So if I come back to this page here, there is a page in your account called Min and Max Automation. So how you get here is just by clicking on Account and then going to Min and Max Automation, and this page will load. So there's an explanation at the top which just goes through kind of what the page is about, as I said. So you're basically going to choose your minimum and maximum automation settings, or what Profit Protector Pro should take into account to calculate the minimum and maximum prices and your break even. And this can be based on a few things, whether that's you want to base it on break even, whether you want to base it on the buy box price, or whether you want to base it on ROI. So first of all, the marketplaces that you see that you can put in your criteria are the ones that you have switched on. If you want to change the ones that you see, you just need to go to Account, My Account, come down, and then you'll see here, this is where you choose which ones you have toggled on and off. And I've only got the UK and France turned on at the moment, so that's why those are the ones that you can see here. So there are two sections to this. Obviously you've got your minimum prices and you've got your maximum prices. So if you click on the first drop down here, you're basically choosing what calculation you want Profit Protector Pro to use, what you want it to base it on. So whether you want it to look at the buy box price, the break even price, or the ROI. So I'm going to say ROI just as an example here. So I'm going to select ROI, and then you need to know kind of what you want it to do. Now obviously because this is a minimum, you always want it to be a plus. So let's say you want to be making a minimum of 30% ROI, you would just put that in there. And then you've got another drop down where you can kind of add another condition. So if I put further conditions, Profit Protector Pro would then just have minimum of 30% ROI, no other conditions. If I choose and at least, I can then do plus or minus, but obviously I'm going to put plus because it's minimum price, pound sign, obviously I'm in the UK marketplace, and I could say £1, for example. So then Profit Protector Pro would be looking at a minimum of ROI of 30% and at least £1 profit. Now, if I put or at least, then it's obviously going to be looking at 30% ROI or £1 profit. So you might decide that you're just going to say and at least £1 profit on this one, so you know that that's what Profit Protector Pro is going to take into account. I've already got it toggled on here. And obviously you would look at this one in exactly the same way. And then we go to maximum. So again, I'm going to put ROI because that's what I want to focus on. And then I'm going to say a maximum ROI of, let's say, 150%. I'm going to put it really high. And because it's a maximum, I'm going to say no further conditions. Make sure it's toggled on. Now, this is where you have two options. You can either save your changes, but obviously bear in mind that this won't apply it to any of your inventory, or you can apply to all of your inventory. So click whichever button is applicable to you. If you save your changes here, obviously it's then going to alert you to say that your new minimum maximum automation settings that you've put into place, what I've just filled in here, will not come into effect until I ask Profit Protector Pro to recalculate. Obviously I didn't click the apply to all inventory button, so I'm saving the changes of my min max, but I'm not applying it to anything. So that's just warning you. So that's absolutely fine. Save the changes, that's done. Now the reason I wanted to click save changes and not apply to all inventory is that I'm going to show you, come back to your inventory. It might be that you want to apply your minimum max to some certain listings. So therefore you would just click save changes, and then you would find the ASIN that you want it to apply to. And then you've got these little buttons here. So you can click here to apply your automated minimum settings and your automated maximum settings. So you can do it kind of ASIN by ASIN, or you can do your whole inventory. So if it was just one ASIN that you wanted to apply it to, you would do exactly what I've just done and then come and click these buttons here. If it's your whole inventory, obviously then you would just click apply to all inventory. Now, once that's input, you can then use the Chrome extension. The automated break-even and min-max button will automatically calculate that break-even price and the minimum maximum price based on that minimum maximum criteria almost that you've just set up on the main profile page. And you can also use this button here in your inventory, which will automate the break-even price here and the minimum and maximum based on this almost like criteria that you've just set in your min and max automation section in your account. So that is the minimum and maximum automation within Profit Protector Pro. Back to me and Holly. We are back.
We're back, yeah. So as you can see, you don't have to do it individually. You can set it account-wide, which is really helpful, because I can imagine that it'll become quite tedious to do each one individually. So
I think it's good that you can do them all, but then obviously you can edit certain ones if you need to, if there's something specific about them that maybe you don't want them to be the same as the rest. I've just been looking at the polls, pretty much 50-50 for the Chrome extension.
Yeah,
so that's good. Some of you might have discovered it today.
Yeah, it's really good, isn't it? It makes it worth it to show those little videos, because I think sometimes we think, oh, should we do that feature again? Because like we've had it for so long, surely everyone knows about it now. But it shows that that some people don't know about it. Was the volume okay for everybody whilst we were playing that video? Because Matt had some issues, and then we had a private message saying that there was no volume. So could you let me know if everything is okay with the audio?
Question.
If you want to go, you go.
No, I was going to say other people saying volume's fine. Jermaine, how do you counter other listings that are on the same product that also have a repricer running? And go on, Holly, this is one for you.
Okay, so how do you counter other listings that are on the same product that also have a repricer running and trying to win the buy box? Okay, so I guess that's a very tricky one. But the best thing to do, in my opinion, and I don't know, I think this is my answer for a lot of things, but super aggressive dominator is really good at taking that buy box and oftentimes even creating a higher buy box. It's like my absolute favorite strategy.
So can you tell it's Holly's favorite?
Every time we do one of these, I'm like, just super aggressive dominator. But it is really good. And I think if you are struggling to actually get the buy box, it's going to be aggressive enough that it's going to actually do something for you. So obviously when a listing's really competitive, you need to make sure that you've got a really good range of min and max. You need to make sure that you've got the right strategy. But yeah, I guess it's just playing it by, and I suppose it's not really playing it by ear, but you know, that's a very English thing to say, isn't it? It's looking at that particular listing and just seeing what's going to work best for that one, and being realistic in the price that you're actually going to get for that product. But yeah, I think that helps. Let me know if you want me to talk about anything else in that realm, but I think I've covered it okay. Steve, auto min max, can you break out a product if you say you want to get rid at break even after it has been after it has been in stock too long? Can you separate that one out if your whole inventory is on min max? I think I need to read that again. Sorry, just 1 second. If you say you want to get rid of break even after it has been in stock for too long, can you? Yeah, so you can edit that product separately from everything else. So let's say that you went into auto min max, you could set all of your inventory, and then you could go and find that particular ASIN, and you could go ahead and change the min max individually, so separately. Is that what you were going to say, Kayleigh?
I think, yeah, I was just saying I interpreted it the same way as you.
Yeah, okay, good. I didn't know if I'd read it wrong.
It's easier to apply it to all, isn't it? And then edit if you've only got kind of a small amount in comparison that you want to be different. Just apply it to all of them and then go back in.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. To add, getting the buy box, listing optimization will also be a big factor. Yeah, for sure. So I think that's probably more for like, if I'm understanding correctly, I think that's probably like more for private label and things like that, the listing optimization, maybe. I don't know. But in regards to Profit Protector Pro, the min max and the strategy that you choose is going to be the biggest factor there, really. Okay, so I don't think we're
saying that the volume's okay, which is a good thing. So it might just be a couple of issues.
Yeah, if you're having any problems with the audio, I can't see it on my screen, but I believe that there is a button at the top and it says something about reconnecting. So if you're having any issues, then just click that up there, and then hopefully it'll resolve any issues that you might be having. Okay, so shall we move on to the next video?
Yeah.
Or did we just get a question? Okay. So we've got a video coming up about that, Alan. So
everyone's questions are predicting our videos today.
They are, aren't they? So I won't cover that now, but we'll cover it. We'll come back to it when we've played the video, because I think it might answer your question anyway. Okay, so we're going with custom strategies next. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Awesome.
See you in a minute.
See you in a minute.
Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk you through custom strategies. So first of all, how do you get there? I have logged into my Profit Protector Pro account. This is a demo account and I'm just on the inventory page. All you need to do is just click custom strategies, which is on the top menu here, and it will take you to the main page. Now, custom strategies is for when you want to create your own strategy. Basically, the clue is in the name. In our strategies that you already have access to within Profit Protector Pro, the amazing algorithmic ones and the other ones. Now, in the algorithmic ones, there are kind of thousands of scenarios and circumstances that have to be inbuilt within the strategies, but this is for when you want to create your own. So first of all, this is kind of the main page, and these are test ones that we've created in the past. So first of all, you have the strategy name, you have any description, you have the date that it was last edited. You can also toggle them on and off. So this basically means whether that strategy is available in your list of strategies when you want to choose which strategy you want to apply to a listing. And then you have your actions. So the information button basically brings up kind of an overview of that strategy that you've created. And then you've also got your edit button and your delete button. So once you've created one, you've named it and it's in here, you can always go back in and edit it or look at the details of it. So in order to create one, up here you need to click new custom strategy and it will open the page for you. Now, this is then kind of what we call the custom strategy wizard. So Profit Protector Pro is basically going to ask you a series of questions, and then your answers will help create that strategy, because obviously you're not necessarily going to know straight away, you know, how to actually create a strategy from scratch. So this is kind of a wizard to talk you through it. So as with all of our softwares, you have what we call tooltips. So if you hover over a question mark, it will give you an explanation of a feature, if that's what it's on, or this, for example, will basically explain the question to you in a bit more detail. So if you read the question and you think, oh, I'm not quite sure what they mean, look out for the tooltip, and that will just give you a bit more of a breakdown of how to kind of answer the question effectively. So question 1, what fulfillment method do you wish to compete with? So basically this is, do you want to compete with all sellers? Do you want to compete with FBA sellers? Or do you want to just compete with MF sellers? So for this example, I'm going to say, like, let's think I'm an FBA seller, so I just want to compete with FBA. So I'm going to click FBA and then click next to move me on to the next question. Now, again, don't forget your tooltips, that will tell you a bit more information. So question 2, what condition do you wish to compete with? Now, most people obviously will be selling new products, so you would choose new. If you are used, then obviously there's various conditions of used. So we have all used except collectible, used average, used good, used very good, used like new, and used collectible. Now, if you're doing well, you can select more than one, but obviously it's unlikely that you're going to want to do new and a used condition. So if you are selling used, you can choose more than one condition at a time. I'm just going to say new because I think that's probably the most likely answer for most people, and then just click next and it will move you on to the next one. So now Profit Protector Pro is going to kind of walk you through different scenarios and then ask what you would want Profit Protector Pro to do in that scenario. So question 3, what should Profit Protector Pro do in this scenario? There is no buy box, and there are other sellers with the selected fulfillment method and condition. So you have a series of kind of options basically. So you can go to minimum, go to maximum, go to break even. Then you've got match, so you can match other sellers low price, and then it will give you the fulfillment method, other sellers mid and the same, high and the same. And then you also have kind of what I call the currency box here. So you can do pounds or dollars over, and then you've got options, so break even, other sellers low, mid and high, under, break even, other sellers low, mid and high, and then you've got percentage and also the same options as well. So those, the bottom two are kind of similar, but it's whether you want to do it by percentage or do it by a currency amount. So I am going to say that I want to let's say match an other seller's mid price, and I'm going to choose FBA because that's what I am. Then it will automatically move you on to the next question. So question 4, again, what should Profit Protector Pro do? There is no buy box, and there are no other sellers with the selected fulfillment method and condition. So again, you have all of your options. So you've got go to, you've got match, and then you've got your currency kind of over and under, and you've got your percentage over and under. So options here, you could say go to max and leave it there for a little while, maybe change it if other sellers do come onto the listing. So I'm going to do that in this scenario. So I'm going to say go to max. And again, it will automatically move you on to the next question. So question 5, now what should Profit Protector Pro do? So there is a buy box, and there are other sellers with the selected fulfillment method and condition. So we have competition basically. So what should Profit Protector Pro do? So you could, for instance, match the buy box. You could match another seller's low price. You have quite a lot of options. So we have the buy box and there are other sellers. So I am going to say, match the buy box. I said have the buy box. I'm going to have a buy box. So match buy box. Question 6. There is a buy box and there are no other sellers with the selected fulfillment method and condition. So here we could potentially, let's say, go to max because I've said let's pretend I'm an FBA seller. So potentially I could be the only FBA seller. So we could assume that the buy box is with an MF seller. So I'm in this scenario, again, you've got all your options and you can kind of think through your different scenarios and what you'd like to do. But I'm going to say, let's do this one because we haven't done this one yet. So I'm going to say I want to go over the buy box. And I want to go over by $5 or £5. So I've input that. Let's go next. Question 7, you have the buy box. Good news. So we've got the buy box. What repricing action do we want to take? So you have a couple of different options here. So again, you've got your go to. Then you've got your switch strategy, which is one that we haven't come across yet. So let's say, for example, FBA algorithmic, and you have all of the strategies. If you have Profit Protector Pro, you will have seen those before. Then you've got the match one, which we have had previously. You've got, again, your currency one over and under. You've got your percentage over and under. And you've also got do nothing as well. So we've got the buy box. What do we want it to do? I'm going to say go to minimum. Now, at some point when the developers have finished doing it, it's really exciting. We are going to split custom strategy and automation. So you will be able to do just custom strategy on its own. So this box won't appear, and you will basically then, at this point, I've just done my custom strategy, worked my way through the wizard, and I would save it. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to go save from here, because I just want to change to save the custom strategy wizard, which is what it will look like when they're completely split separately. So I am going to save my strategy. So you would just put a name in here, obviously something a bit more exciting than that, and then you might have a description. So you might have decided to make a custom strategy for a specific reason, so you could put that in there just to remind you exactly what it is. Type that in there, and all you need to do is click save. And then it will say here, it was green, it will say custom strategy was saved successfully. And then you'll also see that it's appeared here. So I'll show you now this information button. If you click on there, you will have seen it at the beginning, but now it will make a bit more sense to you if you haven't been through this process already. So this is basically all of the questions that Profit Protector Pro asked me, the scenarios that it gave me, and what I've asked it to do in those scenarios. So if you want to kind of revisit a custom strategy that you've made and see exactly what you've input, or you think of a scenario and you think, well, what did I ask it to do? You can come back and you can have a look at that. And then if you need to, you can also edit it as well. So that's really, really useful. So my strategy is here and I want to make it active. So I'm just going to toggle it on there. Custom strategy was made active successfully. So now I'm going to come to my inventory, and I'll just show you. So my inventory is loading here. If I come down and I've got my strategy drop down here and I scroll to the bottom, you'll see the bottom one that's appeared is webinar test. So straight away that custom strategy is I can use it, I can apply it to any specific listings that I want to apply it to. So that is custom strategies. As I said, it's in the menu options at the top, super easy, and the wizard will talk you through it. Any questions, just ask us in the chat or drop us an email and we'll always be happy to help you with custom strategies. So back to me and Holly. We're back.
We're back. Okay, so we're only going to have a short break between this one and the next video, because the next video is automations, and it kind of follows on from custom strategies. Obviously, before they were connected, but we've separated them up. Even though you can actually currently, as you saw in the video, you can add the automation on at the end. But we have made it so that you can create an automation separately and a custom strategy separately. So let's just see. Do strategies ever consider the seller and competition feedback rating? Not to my knowledge. I think that might be a developer question that I would need to ask. I don't think that it does. I think it predominantly goes on the way that what the buy box currently is, the amount of sellers on the listing, and the back data that we've got for how well that product's been selling and things like that. I don't really think seller rating and feedback and things like that is something that we go into. And to be fair, I don't think I need to ask a developer, because I think I know that it doesn't.
Just answered it while you're thinking about it.
Yeah. I don't. In fact, I know that the Amazon API and the reports and things like that, it doesn't include things about other sellers and feedback ratings and things like that. So no, that's not going to be something that's taken into account. It's going to be purely based on seller numbers, the back data of that product, and the current buy box and things like that. Yeah, Matt says, yep, doesn't take seller account into it. I think it's one of those things, when like it's a question that you've not been asked before, and then like you start mulling it over in your head, and as you answer it, you're like, no, you definitely don't do that. It's one of those things. It's like not at the forefront of your brain, but like it is somewhere back there. Okay, so Brian said, is it possible to set up a custom strategy for a given time frame? For example, for stock less than 30 days, set custom strategy, and for stock older than 30 days, set a custom strategy. So again, it's something that's in there in the back of my brain. If you can, it's in the next video. It's potentially in automations. And if it's not in automations yet, then it will be in automations on automations like 2.1 or whatever, 1.2. Yeah. But if we roll into this next video, it's gonna answer the questions that everybody's got about automations, because that is an automation. It's not necessarily part of the custom strategies. So let's go ahead and we'll play this next video, and then I think we'll be able to go into a lot more questions about everything that you've got about automations. Yeah. Okay. So I'll see you soon.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk you through automations. So you reach this by clicking the automations button in the top menu option. Now this is a super awesome feature, I think, because it basically allows you to say to Profit Protector Pro, when this happens, do this, and apply it to a specific listing. You can do it on a per ASIN basis. So the setup here looks very similar to Custom Strategies one if you've seen it. So first of all, you've got the automation name, the description, the last edited date. You can toggle it on and off whether you want it to be available to use to apply to an ASIN, and you have your edit button and your delete button as well. So to create a new one, all you need to do is click that button. Now you have two kind of setup methods that are available to you. One is the wizard, which is what Custom Strategies looks like, and then you've got flow. So the way they work is effectively, it is the same. You're inputting the same information, and the outcome of what Profit Protector Pro will do based on what you tell it to is the same. It's just kind of a different way of inputting that information, because I say quite a lot about making it personal to you, and everyone works in different ways. So some people will prefer the wizard way and some people will prefer to use the flow. So basically, I don't know if you can see here on the flow, the first drop down here is kind of your condition. So you'll see it start saying after automation has been active for, and you'll see here that that's the first option here, this first button. So all of the options on this drop down, if I was to click on it, would be these options here that you've got. So like I said, it's the same, it's just kind of a different visual representation of it, so that some people might find the wizard better, some people might find the flow better. So I'm going to go with the wizard. So question one. So as I said, automations is a way for you to say, when this certain specific thing happens, this is what I want you to do. So what should happen for this automation to activate? So you have a few options. You have after the automation has been active for a certain amount of time. You've got when seller numbers increase to a certain amount and when seller numbers decrease to a certain amount. You've got when stock falls below X amount, when no sales have occurred for a certain amount of time, if buy box goes below minimum, and if buy box goes above maximum. So I am going to say, let's say, after the automation has been active for a certain amount of time, and then of course Profit Protector Pro needs to know after what period of time. So after what period of time do you want to change your strategy? And I'm going to say after 3 months. So month, and then obviously it needs to know how many, and then click next. So then you've said if this happens, so basically if it's been active for 3 months, but then Profit Protector Pro needs to know what you'd like it to do. So you've got lots of options. So you can say go to minimum, maximum, you can switch your strategy, you can match the buy box or other sellers low, mid and high price, and then you've got your currency and your percentage. So you can go over and under the buy box, other sellers low price, other sellers mid price, and other sellers high price. So I'm going to say that after 3 months, I want it to switch my strategy. I'm going to say FBA algorithmic strategy, and I'm going to choose, let's say, cautious sales enhancer. Now that might be the only thing that you want this automation to do, which would be absolutely fine. All you would say is, no, I don't want to add another condition, and then you would save it, and that would be that. But I'm just going to show you a few more examples, because obviously that's what I'm doing. I'm demonstrating automation. So do you want to add another condition? And I'm going to say yes. So let's think, what else, what should happen for this automation to activate? You could say, let's say, when seller numbers increase to a certain amount, of course, Profit Protector Pro needs to know how many sellers. So let's say randomly 7 sellers. Click next. And then when seller numbers do increase to 7, what do you want it to do? So again, you've got all of your options. So I'm going to say when seller numbers increase to 7, I want to go to my maximum. And again, that could be it, but I'm going to show you some more examples. So yes, I want to add another condition. And let's think so a good example might be if you want you want to sell through some stock, you want to just get rid of it and you want to delete the listing. So when your stock falls below a certain amount, let's say 3. So when stock falls to 3, what do I want it to do? I'm going to say I want it to switch strategy, FBA strategy, and I want it to go to super aggressive dominator, because when there's only 3 left, I just want to get rid of them so that I can close the listing. There might be a reason that, I don't want to restock that item, super aggressive dominator. So then that's done. And now I'm going to say, no, I don't want to add any more. I'm finished. Then of course you need to name your automation. And then the description automatically populates with basically what you've input into that automation. So after the automation has been active for 3 months, switch the strategy to cautious sales enhancer. When seller numbers increase to 7, go to max. And when stock falls below 3, switch the strategy to super aggressive dominator. And then once you're done, obviously you can edit this if you wanted, so you can add more text in there. And then just click save. And then you'll see it says automation was saved successfully, and that's appeared at the bottom here. So I've called it webinar automation. Now it's toggled on. So what this means is then if I go to my inventory, I'm just going to refresh it. You'll have seen you have the strategy one, and then you have the automation one. And you'll see that now that webinar automation, that one that I've just created, is available. So I can select that and apply that to this ASIN, because obviously the reason that you've created an automation in the first place might be that you want to apply it to certain ASINs. So that's why this feature is so exciting, because it means that I can now go through and I think, right, for some reason, that's the automation that I wanted to create for this one. So I can apply that here, and I can, do it straight from the drop down in my inventory. So that's automations. As I said, you can reach it just by clicking automations at the top there. It will open up any that you've already created, and just click new automation and choose your setup method to go through and create your own automation. Back to me and Holly. That's automations.
So I just want to hop back to Brian's question, because I read it some more. I read it like 3 times, and now I understand it more, because I think originally I thought that you meant, can you do it after a listing's been live for 30 days? And you definitely can do that. What you can't do is, and I'm not sure if we will be able to do it or not, is we can't tell the difference between whether, say you've got 20 of something and 10 of that stock is 60 days old and 10 of it is 5 days old. We can't actually tell the difference. So I'm not particularly sure that that is something that we would be able to add into automations. But you can, however, change your strategy based on how long you've had that listing active for. So I don't know if that will help you or not. There are a bunch of other things that you can do to the automations and to change your strategy. So if your stock falls below a certain level, as you saw in the video, there's lots of different options that you can choose, but just not on how old the
I'm
product.
not sure I understand.
Oh, Siri's talking to me.
She's got an opinion.
I didn't understand either. That frightened me. Okay. So I don't think you can do it based on stock age. Yeah, but you can do it on lots of other things, and I'm sure that there's like some kind of workaround to make it work for you. Okay, we've got lots of questions, so I'm just going to scroll. Okay, so Alan's question from before was, can automation be made to drop min to buy box after 90 days of no sales? How to add automation to all inventory? So yes, you can absolutely ask it to drop to minimum after a certain amount of time and after a certain amount of sales or no sales. To add it to all inventory, I'm not sure that that's something that we have yet. It's not, is it? No, it isn't. So you have to answer my own question when I was asking you. So that's something that you have to add to each individual listing. But we will definitely get it added to the bulk selector if it's not already in there, which I don't think that it is. So we'll get that added in there for sure. Right, let me go back up. Okay, so there's a question just here. My question relates to a feature I saw on a Facebook group. Some users have the profit figure and ROI beside the product. Are we going to have that anytime soon, please? That feature is going to be ready really, really soon. So that's really exciting. It's just not quite ready just now because we've got to do a little bit of testing. I was hoping to have it ready for this webinar so that we could announce it then, but it's not quite ready just yet. Not from a point of view of it doesn't work. It's just obviously we want to test it quite a lot before we let it go out to you guys. So yes, very, very soon. At the moment, I use balance for most listings. I don't want to change to super aggressive dominator in case it kills my margin. Do you have any advice?
Holly's biased on this one.
Yeah, I'm biased. I do love super aggressive dominator, but I do also understand that not everybody will want to be on super aggressive dominator, and I think balanced is Karen's favorite, isn't it?
I think so.
So what would my advice be here? I think my advice would be to make sure that you've got a really wide min max, so that there's a lot of movement, that Profit Protector Pro can actually move things around for you a little bit more and just try and get you the best of that listing. Because if there isn't a wide range, it really can't do that because it's just a little bit stuck. So it's always super important to make sure that those min and maxes are again realistic, but just wider. If you don't want to go to super aggressive dominator, then I would probably suggest the only one between the two is aggressive sales generator. And although super aggressive dominator is much more aggressive, aggressive sales generator is also aggressive as well.
Do it gradually, work your way up.
Yeah, I think the best thing to do again would be to look at your min and max, potentially try aggressive sales generator on a couple of ASINs and just see how it goes for you. Typically,
I'm not sure I understand.
Why is it doing that? I'm turning everything off.
Siri,
does it think that I'm saying Siri? Because I'm not. All that over there. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. So something to note with super aggressive dominator, I know that I'm going back to it a little bit, but it isn't really a strategy that makes you lose your margin, in my opinion. It's constantly trying to get you a higher buy box than is probably even there right now. So don't be afraid of it in the sense that it's going to lose you lots of money and things like that, because it isn't. As long as you have a minimum that you are happy to sell at and that you are making good margin on, don't be too afraid of it. Obviously, if you've got a minimum, sorry, go on.
And I was going to say, on that note, there's a new poll that's appeared about what's your favourite strategy.
These polls. I don't know where they're coming from.
It's not me and it's not Holly. Balanced is in the lead at the moment.
I feel like it's either Karen or Matt. It's got to be. Yeah, so balanced really winning. Everyone loves a bit of balance.
Karen's on here about 10 times voting for it.
Where are my super aggressive dominator lovers?
I'll be interested whoever's voting other. What's your favourite if it's not one of the ones on there?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I wouldn't be afraid of super aggressive dominator, but I totally understand that you don't want to move all of your listings to it. Probably test it on a couple just to see how you go. And again, please always make sure that you're happy to sell at your minimum, because if you are, like, you're gonna, with all of the strategies, you're probably going to get disappointed at some point, because it will at some point go down there. Okay. Alan said, if an automation just goes to max, wouldn't the assigned strategy still be in effect and most the price around?
Move the price around, I think he means.
Right,
so
okay, yeah.
Will it ignore the strategy, I guess?
So it's not going to ignore the strategy, but it is going to slightly override it, in that if you've said that you want to go to your min or you want to go to your max, then it's going to listen to it and allow it to do that. So yeah, I don't know, the automation and the custom strategy will kind of work together to get you what you want. Is there a way to add automations to all of the items via bulk inventory? Okay, we already had that one, didn't we? It's not there right now, but we'll definitely get that added in for you. Brian said, that's okay, Holly, is trying to send new stocks in under a new SKU, so that would resolve that. Yeah, absolutely. If you've got like a totally different SKU, then you're going to be able to set your different mins and maxes for that. So that's absolutely fine. Rhonda said, if I wanted to delay repricing to start after listing a new item on Amazon, can I use automations to do that and sell used books, so the single items with a slower turn than other products? If you want to delay repricing, so no, I don't think that it can currently do that. Do you mean that you want it to go live at a certain price and like not reprice for 10 days or something like that? Just let me know what you mean, and I'll try and go into that a little bit more. Jill said, could you add an automation scheme that could go to max when Amazon is out of stock on an ASIN? So that's not actually something that we're able to do, because the API doesn't let us know that it's Amazon on the listing. So it tells us there's FBA sellers, it tells us there's MF sellers, but it doesn't actually tell us this is Amazon or this is super wholesale, you know. It doesn't tell us the names. I don't know who super wholesale is, if it's anyone, but it doesn't tell us the names. So that's not something that we would be able to do. You can do when the number of sellers decreases to X, then you can add an automation that way, but just not specifically for Amazon or specifically for another seller. Can you override your own minimum? So drop price match lowest. So drop to price match lowest price seller regardless of current minimum. That is something that we're going to add in because we understand that you might want to change your minimum by 10% or increase your maximum by 10% or something like that. Not specifically 10%. You can definitely specify how much. That's not something that's in there right now, but we have that on the list, and so we'll get that in there as soon as possible. Balanced is awesome, Matt. Karen loves balance.
We're right.
Karen said,
dynamic seems to work, so that was one of the other options. That obviously wasn't a poll option. Oh, it's a new poll.
Oh, what's the new one?
Which is best, pink monster or coffee?
Oh, it's Matt. Of course it's Matt. I should have known. It doesn't let me vote.
We're not allowed to participate.
So I don't know if everyone's seen Karen's comment, but it says, if you have a listing with loads of competition, then super aggressive dominator is awesome. But if you have sellers all sharing the buy box, then I'd say balance or even cautious are good ones. Yeah, that's definitely true. If it's not a super competitive, like crazy listing, then probably one of those others are definitely best. But my heart will always be with super aggressive dominator.
If you hadn't worked that out already.
When there is no buy box, are the algorithmic strategies using the current minimum price to work from? So it's not necessarily using the current minimum price, it's just going to try and figure out the highest price that PPP can get you the buy box for. So it's not trying to get the lowest price for you, so it's not going to straight away go to your minimum, but obviously you have to bear in mind that Amazon have said, hey, you guys are trying to charge too much for this product and we don't think that that's okay, so we're not giving anybody the buy box. So we kind of have to play by their rules to a certain extent and just try and get around that and create a buy box and then slowly bring it up to a higher point for you, which Super Aggressive Dominator does really well.
So Rhonda has added, she was the one who said about delaying repricing to start after listing, and she's put just a 30 to 60 delay after my initial listing.
No, so that's not something that we can do right now, but I think it's definitely something that we can, I think it's probably something that we can try and get in there, but it might be a case of either switching off the repricing if you don't want it to do it as soon as it lands. But Karen did just say, Rhonda, why not set your min and max very similar, and then PPP will stick between those values, which is definitely a good idea. But no, that is not something that's currently in the automations. I will see if we can add something like that because it might be something that a lot of booksellers like to use. I'm not sure it's something that OA sellers would like, because they typically like the repricing to start instantly as soon as the products land, but we can definitely look into it. That says Holly dominates aggressively. That's wonderful. I think he means that I'm not letting you talk enough. You go.
No, it's fine. It's definitely, is there an automation you could use when the buy box becomes an MF seller, or where I could then go a certain amount above that?
I don't think that that's currently in there right now, is it?
Not type of seller, I think, isn't it?
No, we definitely don't do it based on the type of seller. But you can have affirmation has been active for when seller number increases to, when seller number decreases to, when stock falls below, when no sales have occurred, and if the buy box goes below minimum and maximum. So it's not something where we can it's not something where we can currently do it based on the seller, but it is something that we can definitely look into, because we do know whether there are FBA sellers or MF sellers, but I just don't know if we can do it based on the buy box and the particular seller. I think it might be more of a case of we can do it based on the type of sellers on that listing as a whole, and not necessarily the seller in the buy box. So the answer to that question is no, not currently, but we'll look into it and see whether it's something that we can add.
That's why these are good, because we get all your comments and things that we can look into for you to make it even better.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a new poll.
The other one.
About Matt behave. I can't vote. You guys will have to do it for me.
I really wish that we could see who was voting for what.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone's voting for Matt. Stop messing around. So Rhonda said, Karen, I could, but we're talking about hundreds of listings, so I'm trying to avoid having to go back and manually adjust. Yeah, absolutely. I guess you could potentially use the auto min and max and apply to all inventory. That's something that you could potentially do, but that's probably not the best way for you, again, because you can have different listings going in at different times. But we'll definitely look into it. I imagine it's something that we can do for sure. Matt says it was a bad trip. Yeah. We've got another one, haven't we? Got another video.
Yeah. One more.
Yeah. So we've got the mobile app for PPP. So we're going to go ahead and start that video, and then we'll see you again in a minute.
See you in a minute. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the Profit Protector Pro mobile app, which you can download from the App Store or the Play Store, depending on if you're Apple or Android. So this basically means that you have access to your repricing with Profit Protector Pro on your mobile, your cell phone, so basically with you wherever you are. So first of all, let's look at the top right hand corner. So this brings up the filters. You'll see the filter toggle if you click on and off, and it basically brings up the options that you'll see have appeared here: marketplaces, filters and sort, for how you can filter or sort your inventory. So marketplaces, I'm just going to click on there and you'll see that the flags appear. Now you can have more than one of these on at a time, so you'll see it lets me select multiple ones. I'm just going to keep the UK on because that's the one that's relevant to me, but obviously choose whichever ones are relevant to you. To get rid of that, you then just click marketplaces again and it will kind of go upwards, it will minimize. Then you've got filters. So these are the filters that you will be used to seeing on your Profit Protector Pro inventory if you're on a desktop. So how you want to filter what stock you want to see, whether that's all products, ones that are in stock, your favourites. So you've got all of those options there. And obviously, you can, unlike the marketplaces, you can only choose one of these options. And then you've got your sort button. So this basically, again, is how you can sort your inventory. So you've got things like oldest to newest, newest to oldest. You've got price ascending, descending. So all of those options there. If you select anything and then you want to kind of go back to how it was, all you need to do is press that red bin icon and it will take you back to how it was before you made any changes. If you want to get rid of those, you can just press the top right button, the sort filter or sort button, and it will close those. Then the next thing you've got is your expand or marketplaces. You'll see that toggle there. So that's basically how much detail you want to see about each ASIN. You'll see here that I've got slightly bigger icons so I can see the numbers, the product, as well as the ASIN and the title of the product as well. But if I toggle that off, you'll see they kind of minimize, and now I can get more ASINs in one view at a time. And obviously if you want to see more detail, you just toggle that back on and those details will appear. So this is obviously a demo account, so I don't necessarily have, every single field filled in, but I'll just talk you through what you can see on each one. So first of all, you'll see this top one here, you've got the product title. Now, often the product titles can be quite long, so if you touch on that product title, it will open up and you'll be able to see the title as a whole. So I'll just show you on the second one down here as well. You'll see it brings up the whole title there. You've then got your ASIN. You've got your, you can see on the second one here, you've got the SKU and the buy box price. If you click on the product image, then it will open that product in Amazon, which is super useful. Let's go back to the app. You've then got your stock, you've got your current price, your break even, your minimum, your maximum. You've got your strategy. So you'll see above the Analyze with BuyBot Go button, you've got the, it says match low price. So if I click on that, I can change the strategy that I want it to apply to that, and obviously don't forget to click save, and also whether you toggle on and off your repricing. So that's what that toggle does there, that you can see I'm switching on and off. Now whenever you make a change, so let's say for example I put in 130 here, it will then ask you, you'll see the little toggle next to the product image here where it says cancel and save. Obviously any changes you make you need to save. If you were to not save, so I haven't selected either a cancel or a save, and I'm going to press the minimum here on that Crayola product, you'll see that it comes up with an alert which says previous product is not saved. Do you want to start changing the new one? Because obviously you haven't saved your changes on that first one. So you've got options here. You can either save previous, you can go back to previous, or you can cancel. So if I select back to previous, it will then go up the page and you can see here where it's taken me to where I made those changes, whether I want to cancel or I want to save. So I'm just going to cancel that one. That's super useful because it means that you will never kind of forget to save any changes that you've input before you move on to something else. Now, the other thing I want to show you is you'll notice this, obviously this top ASIN isn't toggled on, the repricing is not toggled on. Now, if you don't have a minimum and a maximum price in there and you want to switch on your repricing, it won't let you. It will alert you to tell you that you don't have a min and a max set up. So I'm just going to change these and take them out of there. Then I'm going to toggle it on, the repricing on, and you'll see it comes up. So to switch on repricing, please enter your minimum and your maximum for this product. So Profit Protector Pro has always got your back. It's not going to let you turn on repricing if you haven't got minimum and maximum set. Just quickly, the top left here, you've got a settings toggle. If you press that, it will just bring up the email address and the name in case you need to input and make any changes. And the top right now, you'll see that the log out icon has appeared just in case you need to log out. The other thing you can do is search. So you've got your search bar at the top here. So let's say I'm just going to type in Barbie, and then that will bring up all of the Barbie ASINs within my inventory, and you can also search by ASIN as well, so that's super useful. Go back to my main inventory. And then I want to show you 2 new exciting additions to the Profit Protector Pro mobile app. And the first one is, you've probably noticed right at the top here, you'll see it says PPP Boost. So on your analysis page and your inventory page within your Profit Protector Pro account, you'll know that it gives you basically the amount that Profit Protector Pro has kind of made you, the profit that it's made you above that buy box price. And you can now access that in your mobile app. So if I click on the arrow next to that, you'll see the 2 boxes appear that you'll be used to seeing if you have Profit Protector Pro already. On the left, you've got your 30-day Profit Protector Pro boost, and on the right, you've got your all-time Profit Protector Pro boost. Obviously, this is a demo account, so the left one's not filled in on mine, but super useful for you to have access to that as well. I know that the guys that already have Profit Protector Pro, you love being able to see that boost. So being able to see it in the mobile app is amazing too. And obviously, if you want to minimize that, you just click on the arrow on the right-hand side. And then we have also now got, I referenced it earlier, at the bottom of this first one here, you can see you've got a blue button and it says Analyze with BBG, which is Buybot Go, which is the mobile app for Buybot Pro, which means you have all of the awesome deal analysis from Buybot Pro in your pocket as well, like you can have Profit Protector Pro. So if you want to analyze a product with Buybot Go, all you need to do is click that blue button. It will open Buybot Go automatically. If you have it downloaded and you're all logged in, it will open it for you. And then you've got 2 prices that appear. So the top one here is the buy price, which will either be pulled in from Profit Protector Pro or you need to input yourself. And then the bottom one is the current buy box price. So let me just put a random number in here. Click Analyze. Buybot Go will then load and you can analyze that product using Buybot Go wherever you are. So that's super useful. You can just switch between Profit Protector Pro and Buybot Go using that new Analyze with Buybot Go button, which is really cool. So they're the kind of newest additions in there. So that is a walkthrough of the Profit Protector Pro mobile app. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat and I'll go back to me and Holly. We are back.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that app.
Elaine's just put, my app doesn't open to Amazon when I click on the picture, doesn't have Analyze and doesn't show Boost. Is that because she needs to update it, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that will be because you probably, if you're on Android, you need to go to the Play Store. And I always forget how to do it. I think you go to the Play Store and then I think you click on the top circle where like your profile picture is, and then you click on Manage Apps. I might have missed a step out there, but you have to manage your apps and then you go into the apps that you've downloaded, you find Profit Protector Pro, click on it and then click update. Oh, okay, iOS. I've been thinking about that too much. iOS. So with that one, you'll need to go to the App Store and type, in fact, no. I need to look.
I can't help with this one because I'm Android.
Well, I've been looking at the Android phone that much that I can't remember. I think you maybe need to go to the App Store, type in Profit Protector Pro, and then there should be an option to update within the App Store. Failing that, you might need to go into your settings and then onto your Apple ID and then onto the apps that you've downloaded, and it might be in there. But I'm going to have a look and then I'm going to get back to you. So
you can do it a similar way to the first way you said on the Play Store as well. If you just search for the app and just click update, sometimes it's quicker just to do that if there's just one that you want to do.
Yeah, I think it might be because I'm obviously an internal tester on both of those apps. So I think I've learned to do it that way because it wasn't actually in the store. So I had to go that way. So that might be why. But if I'm taking everybody around the houses, please tell me.
Any problems, Elaine, just drop us an email. But I think it will most likely be the fact you just need to update the app and then you'll all be good to go.
Oh, no, wait. I've just remembered something. We've had so many updates go out. Buybot Go, those updates have all just been done on iOS and Bex just put in there, and Android. But the updates for Profit Protector Pro app, those are currently being put in place by the iOS dev. So the Android version's gone out of this, but the iOS version of this, is just a tiny little bit behind, but it'll be coming in the next couple of days. But it's something to look forward to. Yeah, that's why. I was going to say I can't remember why.
Having a look at the other questions.
Yeah. So Jermaine said, I might have missed it, but if you set it to do all inventory, does it also apply automatically to any new listings you add after setting it up? So I think that you might be talking about the min and max automations. So no, it's not going to do it for all new inventory that appears in Profit Protector Pro. That's where the Chrome extension comes in really well, because when you actually purchase the product, or when you're on, well, you know, after you've purchased the product, then you can go to the Chrome extension and automate your min and max and save it to PPP, and then it's already in there. But it's not going to do that automatically for you as things land in PPP. And it's always best to use the Chrome extension or the widget in Ppp Pro, because you might end up selling some products prior to Amazon actually telling us that you've already got it there. So it's always best to just give PPP the heads up that it's actually on its way. Can I exclude products from PPP analysis? We have our own private label products we manage separately from our OA replens. No, that's not currently something that you can do. I do think that we are probably going to do a lot of updating to the analysis page, but that's not something that you can currently change now. We can definitely add it to the list, but I think the analysis page probably needs some updates along with that one. Maybe some filters or something like that that can change what you're actually looking at on the analysis page, but we'll get around to that. The list is very, very, very long. But I think that's all of our videos. We've been here for just over an hour. Do you guys have any more questions that you'd like us to answer? Has Matt done any more silly polls?
No.
Just left it at that one.
I think we've answered all the questions that have come through so far.
Yeah, I think we have. I don't think anyone else has any questions. So I guess we will. We'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been really fun. We've really enjoyed it, haven't we, Kayleigh?
Yeah, we have. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Yeah, and will it be in? When will we do this again? In
2 weeks.
In a month's time?
4 weeks time for Profit Protector Pro.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 weeks time for Ppp Pro and 4 weeks time for Profit Protector Pro.
Yeah.
Rhonda just asked, how long does it typically take for new inventory to show up in PPP? It shows up as absolutely as fast as it can. This is why it's best to use the Chrome extension to let us know about it first, because then we can manually check ourselves whether that product is in your inventory. Otherwise, we're reliant on Amazon doing their thing and telling us that that product has landed, and they aren't always the fastest at doing it. It's something that's kind of out of our control, and the very reason that we decided to do the Chrome extension to plug that gap a little bit. It isn't usually a long time, but again, it is something that they control, unfortunately. Okay, everyone's just saying thank you. I learned a few things I didn't know. That's really awesome. I'm really glad. Are there any discounts for signing up for PPP at the moment? No, there aren't any discounts, unfortunately. Jermaine, we don't actually have any discounts out there for Profit Protector Pro, but you are grandfathered in at the current price. So with future price increases, you won't pay the higher price. If you sign up now, you will be grandfathered in at that price for life. So it's definitely worth jumping on that before the price goes up again.
Definitely. Someone's also put, I know Beck answered your question, but where can you watch previous training sessions? So any that we've done in the past will be on the YouTube channel and posted in our Facebook group as well. And so will this one, as long as it's been recorded.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'm sure it will have been. It's not let us down so far, so
No.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Yeah, and we'll see you really soon.
See you
Bye,
soon.
everyone.
Bye.